Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call to order the regular meeting of the Romeo Planning Commission for September 5, 2019. We'll start with roll call.
Stegner?
Here.
Fowler?
Yes.
Luther?
Here.
Foltz?
Here.
Kavovich? Kuzmano? Grandstaff?
Here.
Hall?
Here.
And Webb?
Here.
Okay, has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from last meeting? I didn't get a copy of it. No, I did not.
Make motion they approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nobody. And now we come to the public forum portion of the meeting. Anybody?
Want me to speak now?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I'm sure you all know who I am, Christine Melza. Couple things. One, I wanted to reiterate the master plan kickoff meeting. Y'all should have gotten an invitation from me in the mail. It's September 23rd. It's in the south room, which is in the WVRW old studio room. We're going to try and accommodate 40 people because it's not only this board, it's village council, it's the HDC, and also the public. So we're hoping for a great attendance. I would still like to have confirmation that you're all going to be able to attend. So individually, if you could just RSVP, that would be great. And I wanted to inquire about your rules and procedures. I know that there was a subcommittee that was established quite some time ago, but I haven't been, sorry. The bylaws, yes, the bylaws, because you are required to adopt those on a regular basis, which hasn't been done in quite some time, a significant amount of time, so there's a failure of overlooking that procedure. The village council just amended and readopted ours, so I provided Cindy a copy of that, and we would hope that you would at least use that as a starting point. Of course, if there's something in there that doesn't apply to you as the planning commission versus village council, then you would make the appropriate suggestion to replace that. But I'm urging you to either just take it up as a regular agenda item or put that top on your priority list to get that accomplished. And lastly, I just wanted to make a quick mention. We took a handful of calls and residents that came in today who were upset about the Clinton Street property being cleared. There's a rumor being floated about that there is a drive-through business trying to go in that corner. Mr. Fowler, that is not true.
Wait. I never said anything about a drive-through. All I said to Mrs. Wilson here was that Mr. Nelson informed me that a commercial building was going up. I said nothing about any drive-through, so.
Well, you would be the first body that would
So
see
please don't
any
put words in my mouth.
You would be the first body that would see any plans for a site plan approval, so you would be the first people that would know what was even proposed.
Well, I made it very
or
clear
being asked
too
to
that
go
it
on
was
that
zone
site.
R1. And the person that purchased it said he was putting 2 houses up there, so.
Well,
No, I didn't say that, so let's get that clear on TV too.
You absolutely can add to that.
Well, going on what Mr. Fowler just said, that is zoned R1. And obviously, commercial is not allowed in R1. If somebody wanted to do something in an area that is zoned something different and that it's not allowed, there is a very large process that would have to go in place to apply to possibly rezone. So yes, it is residential. That's all it is right now. Nobody's.
I mean, all I did was try to put out
applying.
fires, and I just
Great.
called the village and said, this is what I heard, so it's
But
better to be informed
nobody's
than not
applied for
informed.
any rezoning,
All right.
there's no paperwork, there's nobody on the agenda. That is a very long process before we can even see a site plan, would be the issue of what it is zoned.
Okay.
Sorry to
to
cut
reassure.
you off.
Yes.
No, you're fine,
No.
you're fine. I just wanted to reassure everybody, because there was several residents that were inquiring quite adamantly
I
about
said
what
nothing
was
about any-
going on there.
nothing about
And
that.
it was directed that the information was gathered from conversations with you. So we just wanted to come and say it's
Okay.
not on our radar and it's not true.
Not
And
on
yes,
mine
they
either.
cleared it and they cut down some really large trees. The stakes are obviously evident, but
Okay.
that would be the normal course of action, and so.
I want the one. Okay. Okay, anybody else have any comments, questions? Okay.
I'd like to add something for new business to the agenda, please.
Well, let me call for the tonight's agenda.
Okay.
Okay, number
We got
one,
Public still?
No.
I'm sorry.
I thought I was public.
Yeah, he's
You are
still public.
public,
law.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's not, I don't.
Public law.
Oh, mine's about, a garage. Went through different committees, I went everywhere, and I don't even know what I gotta do to get a garage approved. I got approved by, I think we
We've
went up
been
to.
sent from place to place, and the place that we thought we would come in front of would be a planning commission, but we have been sent to a couple visits with Mr. Casson here. We went to the Historic Society
Right, on
and
the
sat
new
through another
house.
meeting. And now we're told we have to go in front of the village trustee,
Trustees, do
village
we
and
gotta do that
trustees,
too?
and
That's for the
Is that-
land split or
We already did that
combination.
though.
That is incorrect.
That's on the site plan.
That's incorrect.
We flagged that at Bruce Township, it's already split, it's already surveyed.
Okay.
I thought the planning commission approved lot splits.
No.
we're here tonight just because
Yes.
we don't want to go next week to the trustee meeting, and then they tell
The
us we have
trustees don't
to
approve permits.
come back and go in front of you and have to wait
Or
another
ordinance they
month.
do.
So
We don't.
we're just trying to build a
Just let me know where I
garage.
gotta
We
go.
just want to build a
Okay.
garage.
We need
Or
to straighten
ordinance.
this
I
out.
just
You
wanna
might want to
garage.
let your village planner address that because he was at those meetings.
Well,
So-
village planner answers to the
Yes.
planning
Yeah.
commission.
Hold on. One at a time,
Okay.
we'll deal with
Then I'll
this.
wait on him.
Go ahead.
I met with Mrs. Cushenberry, and we talked a little bit at a couple of meetings. I told her I would do some research. I looked at your land division ordinance. Your land division ordinance specifically says that all requests for splits must be approved by the village council. And it says no mention whatsoever of the planning commission.
So how does that affect all of the land splits the planning
Right.
commission has done in the past?
Not a lawyer, but
Well, I
I
mean-
can only direct you that what your ordinance says. Whether you elect to follow it or not is up to you. But that's what your ordinance specifically says. It needs to go to the village council.
Great.
I'd like to add them to the agenda. so
It's
we
just
can
weird,
go
we've spoken to a couple
protocol.
trustees and they've
That way
never
it's not-
had to, they've said
Right.
they've never been brought forward about building a garage for any,
Because the first thing the trustee's gonna say is, did you go to the planning commission?
right.
I mean, that's.
I mean, we're
Or
just,
here.
we're just here
I just
because
want
we
to
don't
build a
wanna
garage.
miss this
Yes.
meeting and then have to wait
Right.
another month to come back
I
to
just
you.
want a permit.
So
to build a
we're
garage.
just
Site
trying to
plan,
figure
splits,
Figure out, we're
everything.
going to every meeting this month so that we don't have to wait another month to get on somebody else's.
Well, if that's what the ordinance says,
Correct.
The planning commission is approved, as long as there has been a survey attached to it. Planning commission has approved over years, lot additions, lot splits.
I understand.
So every lot split that the planning commission has approved, you're saying has been illegal.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that your ordinance says that it has to be approved by the
We need to adjust that.
village council.
yeah, we need,
We need to adjust that, just to make everything right.
I believe the normal protocol has been for the planning commission to make a recommendation to approve or deny, and it still went before village council for us to ratify your decision. So I believe the votes ultimately were still done at our regular council meetings, whether the homeowner was present or not at the council meetings, but I know that you have certainly had
Starting
lot
here.
splits started there. What we're suggesting, and according to the ordinance, that it doesn't need to start here anymore. It could possibly even be done administratively, but our ordinance specifically says that it will go to the village council. It does not make mention that a lot split would come before the planning commission.
But doesn't it also include that it only goes to the council if there has been a denial?
all right, so that practice apparently has been incorrect.
Over,
These folks need help.
Right.
I'd like to
So-
add them to the agenda.
Well,
Commissioner Barris,
I don't think we really need to if ordinance says it goes before the council. Is it coming before the
We have them
council?
on the agenda for our meeting on the 16th, yes.
And
Okay,
once it's approved, put your garage up.
so then there's really nothing for us to do.
Correct.
Now, one last question since we're in this,
Alright, that's fine.
and
Yes,
Mr.
everything else has
Saxon,
been reviewed.
what is your
Everything's been approved.
procedure? How do you,
Thank you.
do you approve this? We hired you as a consultant, correct? So you're supposed to work with the planning commission and the ZBA,
Yes.
but were you informed of any of this activity?
No.
So,
Well,
are you a a newest member of the planning commission that works for the Village of Romeo?
I'm a paid consultant by the Village of Romeo.
So you're just a consultant, but you approved their activity to go to the next level?
No. They asked me my opinion on interpretation of ordinances.
So shouldn't that interpretation then come to the, I mean, right, like, we're all,
That's why we're here tonight. That's why I'm here.
Isn't that what we do?
supposedly,
What's that?
With the ordinances and figure out whether
Yeah.
things should
They
happen or
approve
not happen?
site plans, apparently.
You approve site plans, yeah.
Lot splits are within our purview.
If you want to make it yours, then we can
Yeah.
absolutely change the ordinance. It's not a problem. We're just
so
recommending
will
that
your
the
future
ordinance
activities
reads
include
this way.
this, our chair?
Steve is here as a consultant that he has been meeting with residents to get all the residents' ducks in a row. So when they come to the planning commission, you have every bit of information you need according to the ordinance and according to what is correct and not correct. And then you guys take it from there.
According to the ordinance. You guys plan this out pretty darn good.
Well, and to
All
your
right,
point,
so
I
Zach,
tell you what.
we did invite the chair, your chair, to come to those site plan reviews. I suggested that he regularly attend there every second and fourth
Yeah, but
Friday
I
of the
don't know.
month, right, but just so that you would
Yeah.
have an ongoing idea of who came before us and what their agenda items were.
Well,
So-
could we in the future too, Mrs. Wilson, who does the permits, also keep our chair informed? Because obviously he has an office in your office in the village.
No,
Well, he has a table and some space, correct? None? So when you take information, what do you set it out in the garbage can for him, or is it on the table? Oh, not to put you on the spot, okay, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, yes. So obviously, there's a home 20 for this guy in the village office. And so,
All right, well, let's let this proceed to council
Mr.
so
Kusinberg.
that these,
he's still important.
okay, go
I
ahead.
just got my hand up. I just want to know, I don't know what your ordinance is. Is all my ducks in a row? This be my last meeting when I go there. So I got everything, the site plan, everything into you. So all I gotta do is go to one more meeting.
right,
Okay.
correct. Well, At that
Have to.
meeting that your wife went to, Steve Katzen recommended that he
Put
could
it on
possibly
the
do it
agenda.
administratively, but he needed to do some more research.
Oh, that's
He
fine.
came
I
back and
just
he
want to
did
make
that,
sure.
and then we said, all right, this is how it reads, so you need to come to village
Okay.
council, and should have been notified that you were on the agenda. I don't know if the agenda's been drafted yet, so I might be speaking. I don't know if
It's on
that's
the board.
been
told me
taken
that it
yet.
would be put on, I'm not,
Yes.
but,
Yes.
and I'm not questioning that, I'm just saying, we came here tonight because I don't wanna miss this meeting.
And then say we gotta go back
And
to
then
the
we go to
planning
your
meeting.
meeting, and then you
It's
tell
been
us we have to come back here in front of these guys. We've been doing this for a month and a half now, and we don't
can't get
care
a
to wait
permit
till
to
winter
make
to get a garage.
Yes.
I just
Okay.
think it's a little much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I mean, so the next meeting.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so we're good. All right, Dee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right then,
Thank you.
now,
Put that on the agenda.
so our first listed item is the adoption of the revised signage for the industrial park, and Mr. Casson is here to explain changes that he's made.
These are recommended changes, they have not been made.
Yes, I've
There was
misspoke.
space that you have them in front of you. It's basically allowing businesses, buildings within industrial and commercial districts to have a sign, but then each additional business within that building have additional signage based on square footage of their frontage of the building. And that's what you have. So for example, each business having its own site, okay, for a McDonald's restaurant, they would be allowed one ground sign and one lawn sign. And then if it abuts two roads, it's an additional lawn sign or ground sign. And then we have the height and the requirements of the sizes. But then we have, which was more important, and we talked about the last meeting, was any parcel of land abutting occupied by two or more businesses, and that was the issue. How do you regulate those tenants within the buildings, whether it's industrial or commercial? So we have, and this was taken from several other ordinances and modified to fit Romeo, one ground sign identifying the entire development, and then one additional ground sign identifying the entire development with and/or tenants shall be permitted if there's two or more, they abut two or more streets. Ground signs shall be limited to 150 square feet, Each business within the development shall have a separate, that has a separate and direct access to the building is allowed a wall sign. And that wall sign is 2 square feet of tenant space width at the front building line, or 80 feet. These are the changes that are recommended are consistent to many of the ordinance throughout the area.
Any comments from
Could that
anyone?
wall sign, let's just say, I understand that the square footage, how about overhanging the door? Would that be permissible or not? I mean,
Overhanging
if you
above
got
the
one-
door? Or
you got the
coming
door-
out?
Yeah,
No, your ordinance specifically says it has to be flat
it has
against
to
the
be
wall.
flat against the wall.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Wasn't this what basically we
Proposed.
discussed
Absolutely.
and
Yes.
passed?
Yeah, I just put it into
Onto
the
the-
format of your numbering system,
So we pay-
of
Okay,
your ordinance.
That's
okay.
what we paid for?
What's that?
That's what we paid for, you to do that on something that we already talked about? Is that what happened?
I'm just on a retainer, you didn't pay any extra for me to do this.
I know, retainer, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
So this is basically legalizing what we talked about, what we discussed at the last meeting.
with some minor modifications.
Okay.
Language has been reformed.
Okay, so, do we want to adopt this as rewritten?
I
I don't
think
think,
we do. I think it goes to the council now.
but we have to
Recommend
recommend it.
that we're accepting.
I didn't mean adopt. My brain isn't working.
No, you said it.
So, should we, do you want to go ahead? Somebody want to make a motion that we,
Make a motion to do.
anybody second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
In favor, okay. All opposed? Nobody's opposed, okay. So, motion is adopted.
Adopted to send to council, correct?
So this is going to council. Now, you brought up
Open that, back up that discussion that you had earlier, since we're done with business.
about adoption of new rules. Is that what you're referring to?
That ordinance,
Pardon?
that ordinance, which we just got dropped on us as far as
Well, we just sent it up to council. What do you want to do? What would you like to discuss?
the previous, the previous conversation regarding the ordinance which states that the village council.
Oh, we're gonna put that on the agenda for our next meeting and take a look at changing that.
The next meeting?
Yes.
Can I ask a question about
Sure.
that real quick? Do people that are gonna split a lot, do they get charged to come before the planning commission?
They have it?
I don't
They
think
have
so.
not?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. I don't remember. It's been a long time since we've done it. Okay. All right, so it's a short meeting. Do we want to add anything?
Yes, you had previously addressed the plan, or the council indicating that regarding your suggestion for the fence, concrete blocks.
Yes.
Has that been put into writing and submitted to
I,
the council?
that's,
That needs to be done or addressed.
I thought we did that.
we can't do it.
Meetings.
It's not, that is not within the zoning ordinances. That's in the village ordinances, and we don't have jurisdiction over that. The council has to change that.
But on your letterhead from the planning commission, it can be the recommendation of what you had suggested. You gave it verbally,
Yes.
but you didn't do anything
We
in
didn't,
writing.
we did submit it in writing.
So it should be submitted in writing.
Okay, so we can do that. I can do that.
Verbally doesn't really go.
All right, so I'm going to add to the agenda a little discussion about adoption of bylaws for the planning commission. We have a subcommittee, Mr. Grandstaff, Ms. Hall, and Mr. Fowler. Do you have anything to say about it?
Hi.
I do. Go ahead.
I was just looking through some of this, the bylaws here. On section 4, duties of zoning administrator and planning consultant. And it says in here, if we adopt this, the planning commission shall be assisted by the zoning administrator and the planning consultant. So I just want to make sure that this body is being informed by what whoever our planning consultant is informing this body of what comes across their desk if they have a desk. Not to circumvent this body, because it seems like right now, not being informed of anything.
Okay. So if we amend our current bylaws, that will be in the, I don't know, the subcommittee apparently hasn't met.
I will take credit for not making that happen. It's been an interesting summer.
Yes.
Had my mother-in-law fall and break her hip while we were up north in Mackinac. And I told the clerk I would get with her when I got back from vacation, and things went awry, and I never did get a chance to discuss with her, and that is on me, my fault. I did not meet with the other two members, had a pretty full plate, so I will take credit for not doing my job.
Well,
I have read both of these 2 or 3 times. I have some thoughts. If I can give my thoughts to the group, there is quite a few things in the proposed Planning Commission bylaws that I'm not sure what they are trying to accomplish. I think in reading the 1965 bylaws that we have operated under have been adequate. Just about everything that is listed in the new 8-9 pages of the new proposed ordinance with the agenda for our group. If I compare the new ones against what we have in our old bylaws, I think that basically you have sort of modernized some of these, and I don't see the need for part of the agenda being the report of the village board, report of the zoning board, other correspondence, when we have in here in the old ordinance it says communications. So I think basically this covers all of these things, and I don't think we have had any communication from anyone since I've been on the board for 2 terms. My personal feeling is we have been doing fine with the bylaws that we have. And I personally, because of what the president has said, we have been neglectful in not adopting the ordinance on a regular basis. I would make a motion that we adopt the August 3rd, 1995 bylaws that we have been using. That is my feeling. And that is my motion.
Second.
You guys really want to vote on this now?
Committee hasn't met yet.
Okay. I think we should have a special meeting. We should have a special meeting.
Well, I was gonna suggest that you guys put out a report by the 23rd of this month when we kick off our master plan. You can take a pen to whatever you want, scratch it out, just condense it, put it together. There's free, professional help available at Michigan State. And call them up, send them letters, say, what's the purpose of this? Do we need this really? You know?
All right, before the
How's that?
23rd?
Yes.
All right. Do we have that, can you supply us with that number? Michigan State?
Yes. I have a PDF, I'll send it to you.
And we can have maybe a special meeting in order to
Sure.
be prepped for that date. Would that be okay with you, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion that the subcommittee,
He has to withdraw his motion first.
oh, you wanna withdraw your motion? You can if you want. You can.
Your motion or your emotion?
Yes, I will continue to listen, so I am one of the board. I'm open to hearing other information. My reading of it, I've stated my conclusions, but I will, at this time,
Yeah.
if you want, withdraw the motion, withdraw your second,
Withdraw my second.
and if we will take this to the next level with a special meeting.
So, I'm gonna make a proposal that the subcommittee produce a proposal, proposal, for our bylaws that we can review and vote on. That's my motion. Anyone?
Second.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion's adopted.
Any date on the special meeting so we can get it publicized?
Well, that's up to you guys. You're the subcommittee.
And then we let you know and go through the procedure that way?
Produce something that everybody can read and we'll discuss it.
Okay.
But by the 23rd.
Like
we have
like
this-
a weekend of work?
So does anybody have, I'd like to ask Mr. Cass a question. What is the recommendation or the requirement for us to refresh our bylaws? How often does that have to be done?
Yearly, according to the state enabling legislation,
Yearly?
yearly.
Wow, I didn't see that.
Just
No, I
means you
looked,
just
I
gotta
mean,
read-
I read that
It
whole
just means you
thing
gotta read-
more than once.
Reauthorize it every year.
Yeah.
When
Sort
you
of
elect
like,
officers.
Reauthorize.
sort of like that. Yeah, you just go,
Just
wow, these are
reauthorize.
great,
That's the key.
make a motion.
Yeah, just reauthorize.
Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, so, anybody else have anything they'd like to add to the agenda? Anybody want to make the motion then?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Nobody's ever opposed.
And you're all welcome to join those pre-planned site meetings that are on those, from 10 to 12 on the second and fourth Friday of the month, upstairs at the Village Hall. You're absolutely welcome to attend if you wanna come and see what happens. Mr. Kevin doesn't have a desk, but he does utilize the table upstairs. It's a nice big table, that's for the front counter, right?
And,
But
yeah, we offer appointments for the residents and business owners in town, ask questions, get their ducks in a row, make sure they're all legally doing what needs to be done, or if they have any questions.
And it is upstairs, right?
Yes, the
Oh,
second
that's
and
a
fourth
bad-
Friday.
And we don't have a chairmaster.
Oh,
But we take business owners and residents by appointment, so that's why it's not,
How about you?
it's not a public meeting, right, per se, yeah.
it's Tuesday, Thursday,
Sorry.
second and fourth
Friday.
Fridays.
second,
Did I
I'm
say
sorry.
Tuesday, Thursday?
No.
I might have.
Second and fourth Fridays from 10 to 12, depending on how many people say they need to come.
What I asked for?
Typically, has appointments booked on up to 11:30.